leadership of Father Hartman, the other Jesuit provinces across the country, there are 10 of them, put up another 150. So we had $250,000 from the Jesuits, which at the time really surprised me.
That's
really,
great to hear.
Really made me proud of what the Jesuits did in that
You hear
situation.
that, Loyola students?
Hey, Jack, one of the things that has moved me is that Chicago takes a rap for being a segregated city and pretty divided. I like to say that Chicago is the place on the planet that has more diversity in terms of racial, ethnic, and religious groups than perhaps anywhere else. We like to say that's true here in the 49th Ward. We like to say that the work that people did around the Contract Buyers League, as well as the Rainbow Coalition with the Black Panthers, the Young Lords Rising Up Angry, led to Harold Washington being elected. Harold Washington being elected leads to Obama being elected. I wondered what your take is on Chicago today, where we're at, and what hope you see for the future.
Just take any
we are
piece
running
of
out
it.
of time.
That's a tough one. The first thing I thought of when you said 49th Ward, it reminded me that when we did those play-ins at Mayor Daley's Playlots, we used a bus from St. Ignatius
All right.
High School.
See, yet
And
another connection.
The alderman in the 49th Ward was, at the time, was Neil Hartigan, who was a high school classmate of mine at Loyola Academy. And he called
Neil
up...
might be listening. Hi, Neil.
Hi, Neil. He called up the president of St. Ignatius, and I caught all kinds of hell for using a St. Ignatius bus for that.
I love it.
In terms,
he ratted you out?
Yeah.
See, that's
In terms of that, however, in terms of your question, I think there's a lot of work that has to be done, and for the last several years, I've been pretty active on the West Side in terms of educational stuff. And one of the things that has really come up as kind of a major issue, a couple of things. One is that when we were doing the feasibility study for Christ the King, there was a mother that we had a community advisory committee that we met with on a monthly basis. And a mother got up and she said, "You've got to realize that when these kids come to you, they're not going to be ready to learn." She says they hear gunshots every day of the week. They encounter gangs every day of the week. They encounter drug dealers every day of the week. Some mornings they wake up and their mother's being beaten by a drunken husband or boyfriend. They have to get younger kids ready for school. They have to get to the bus and they get yelled at frequently by the bus driver for one thing or another. She says all this stuff that's going on in their lives, it makes it difficult. These are barriers to learning. She didn't use the term, but they did. And social emotional learning is an important thing in schools today. And so one of the things that I did recently was, I was having lunch with a pastor in Glenview, and he said, I was telling him that at Loyola Academy on their website, they have programs to help kids who are having difficulty navigating in a college prep environment. Kids on the West Side don't have that. I went to the pastor from Glenview said, "You should see what they're doing at Glenbrook South," which is a lot. I went to the New Trier website and put in social emotional issues, and what did I get? But they have 14 social workers with at least a master's degree in social work doing work with 4,200 students. I did some volunteer work at Francis Parker because of a relationship they have with North Lawndale College Prep. At Francis Parker, with 920 students, they have 4 full-time social workers. It's a better ratio even than New Trier. And in most of the schools on the West Side, they don't have more than one, and some of the schools don't have any. When people start talking about equal opportunity, unless they have the opportunity to get the same kind of education that they would get if they were paying for it or were living in the suburbs. There's no equal opportunity.
Well, Jack McNamara, you're a wonderful man, and I'm really honored to get to know you. And I'm looking forward to having you back on the show and talking to you a little bit more.
Yeah,
we wish we had more hours to talk, but we got 2 more guests coming up. And let's have a big round of applause for Jack McNamara.
And the history.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And we're going to listen to a little bit of the Coasters doing Searchin' while we bring up Fred Anzavino and Amanda Hartley. We'll be right back with more live from the Heartland here on the left.